welcome back to the Palingo theory video stream, and let's start immediately with our intro. Here we go, and there we have the first question. I think this is not nice in the middle. Let's have a look. Yes, now we have adjusted it. Okay. You are driving along a priority road. Which traffic sign ends your right of way? Okay. Oh, now it's a bit confusing. Yeah, we see on the left hand side a sign which is number 1, which allows us to give priority. The other one, number 2, means that you have priority in the next junction, and this one says, hey, have attention, there might be a potential threat ahead of you. So the one which ends the right of way is the first one. So the first one is in that case the second answer. It's a bit confusing. All right, let's go. What do you do? What do you have to be aware of with this traffic sign? I may not signal. I have to signal a left turn. I may only continue driving by taking a left turn. So you have to signal and you're just allowed to turn left. So why do you have to signal in that case? Imagine you're probably in a cross and there are more options. That's why there is the sign telling you you are just allowed to turn left, but there might be possible the option to go straight ahead or turn right. However, if a coming traffic car might come and see you, he doesn't know that you're just allowed to turn left, and that's why you have to indicate that everyone else knows, okay, you're turning left, even if it's for you definitely clear that you're just allowed to turn left. Think of the others. That's why you have to indicate. Nice. What applies with this traffic sign? I have to drive past obstructions on the left. I'm obligated to turn left. I may not turn right before the sign. So in comparison to the sign before, that one is pointing a little bit below in a 45-degree angle and not horizontal. That means that I have to drive past an obstruction on the left, and not that you have to turn left or something like that to turn. So yeah, it's just the first one. All right, what applies in the area of 50 meters in front of and behind this traffic sign? I may park, I may stop, I may not obstruct passengers boarding or alighting. So that traffic sign means that you are at a bus stop. Yeah, Haltestelle H, Haltestelle for bus stop in German. So in this 50 meters before and behind it, you are allowed to stop, but you're not allowed to park. So you may stop, but you shouldn't obstruct passengers boarding or alighting. So the middle and the last one is correct. Okay, what applies with this traffic sign? I may also continue driving by taking a left turn. I have to signal a right turn. I may only continue driving by taking a right turn. So in that case, our arrow is pointing out to the right in a horizontal position. So in that case, I have to signal a right turn, and I may only continue driving by taking a right turn. Good. All right, what applies with this traffic sign? I may park. I have to anticipate taxi moving off and coming to a stop. I may stop. So what do you think? First about, let's analyze that sign while you're still thinking. You are not allowed to stop, neither to park there because of that sign, and just taxis are allowed to do so. So in that case, the only correct answer is I have to anticipate taxi moving off and coming to a stop, because you are not allowed to park and you are not allowed to stop neither. Nice. What does this traffic sign combination indicate? The road sign posted like this may be used by winter sports enthusiasts, may not be used by traffic in winter, may only be used with snow chains. Okay, what does this traffic sign combination indicate? That the road signpost like this may be used by winter sports. Yes. I think it's just the first one. Yes, nice. All right, let's go ahead. What do you have to be aware of in this traffic situation? Right, let's have a look. We are on a road with 40 kilometers per hour, and yes, there is a truck in front of us, or not a truck, a tractor. And the important thing is that we have a continuous line, so we are not supposed to overtake him, even if he's really, really slow. What do you have to do? What do you have to be aware of in this traffic situation? I may not cross the lane marking. I may cross the lane marking in order to overtake. I may cross the lane marking if oncoming traffic permits this. And as we analyzed before, you're not allowed to cross the lane marking, so it's just the first one. Nice. Okay, what must you be aware of on this priority road? Parking is prohibited. You may not cross the lane marking. Parking is permitted if there is a clear space of at least 3 meters between a parked car and the lane marking. So let's have a look. We are driving 40 kilometers. In this case, we are on a priority road. A truck or a construction vehicle is in front of us, a tractor, and yeah, we have a continuous line again. So what do you think now? 1, 2, or 3? So parking is prohibited. You may not cross the lane marking because it's continuous. Parking is permitted if there is a clear space of at least 3 meters between a parked car and the lane marking. That would be correct if it wouldn't be a priority road, because remember, on a priority road outside of area of built-up area, outside villages and towns, you are not allowed to park on the road. That's why parking is prohibited, and the second one is correct. Meanwhile, the last is false. Right. You want to overtake. What is the right thing to do? Have a look on the side. Maybe I can put it a bit bigger, that picture. There is no sign. Sorry, I wanted to say have a look on the picture. All right, we're driving around 50 kilometers. In front of us is a bicycle, and check carefully the lines. All right. You want to overtake. What is the right thing to do? I may overtake. I may not overtake. I may only overtake if I remain in the right-hand lane while doing so. Okay. The correct answer is I may overtake, because on our side is a dotted line and not a continuous one. The continuous one is actually valid for the oncoming traffic. That means you are allowed to cross the line. Meanwhile, an oncoming car or a coming car from the front, like the white one here, is not supposed to overtake. That's why you are allowed to overtake. All right. As a resident, you want to drive into a cycle highway that has this sign. What must you be aware of when doing so? Vehicles may not be driven faster than 30 kilometers per hour. Cycles may travel alongside one another. Cycle traffic may not be impeded. Okay, let's have a look. Anliegerfrei means that people who live there or who are visiting someone who's living there are allowed to enter. And if not, it's just a bicycle road and only bicycles are allowed to enter. So vehicles may not be driven faster than 30 kilometers. That is correct. Cycles may travel alongside on another. Yeah. Cycle traffic may not be impeded. Impeded means, yes, that you have to take care for them. Yeah. All right. So all three are correct. All right. Why you're not allowed to drive 30? It's a requirement of this type of road if it's a Fahrradstraße. Yeah. If you enter, if you're allowed to enter, then you're not allowed to drive faster than 30. Who may enter a street that has this sign? All cyclists, all persons visiting residents, all moped riders. So according what I've explained before, it's obviously that all cyclists can enter and all persons visiting residents, because we have that Anliegerfrei sign. And mopeds is not mentioned there, so just the first two answers. This road traffic sign is displayed for your lane. What must you be aware of? I may not drive faster than 60 kilometers per hour. I must drive at a minimum speed of 60 kilometers if permitted by the road and traffic conditions. I may only use this lane if my vehicle can and is allowed to drive at a speed of at least 60 kilometers per hour. Okay, this sign is not that common. I know some of these close to Ingolstadt on a highway where it's a bit hilly and big trucks can't drive that fast. So then they have this type of signs telling you, okay, if you want to use that lane, you have to drive at least that speed, and if not, please use another one and don't overtake. So these signs always tell you this is the minimum speed required to use that lane. Obviously, if there's traffic jam, you can't drive that fast, but you should drive like that. And if your car is not allowed or can't drive that speed because of the construction of the car, you're not allowed to use that lane. So according to that, the only correct answer is you must drive at a minimum speed of 60 kilometers if permitted, and you may only use this lane if it's allowed to drive at a speed of at least 60 kilometers your vehicle. So the last two answers. What is the maximum speed a vehicle may drive in a zone with this sign? I have told it already. Okay, let's see if you can remember. We are in an Anliegerfrei street and it's a bicycle road zone. Yeah, bicycle zone actually. So inside of it, if you want to visit someone or if you're living there, your maximum speed is 30. Correct. Okay. What situation applies according to this traffic sign? A maximum speed limit of 30 kilometers per hour, which does not apply to electric vehicles, applies between 10 p.m. and 6 a.m., applies between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. All right, let's have a look. This sign means Lärmschutz, is like protection for loud noise, and it applies between 10 p.m. till 6 a.m. in the morning, and there you're just allowed to drive 30. Why? Because you might wake up some people sleeping, and if the road is quite close to residential area, sometimes the speed is restricted to protect the ones who are living close to that road. So according to that, it applies between 6 p.m. and 6 a.m. as we have said it, and that's the only correct answer in that case. Electric vehicles have to adopt the speed as well. What does this traffic sign indicate? Priority as far as the urban limit. Priority only at the next crossroad or junction. Priority at all crossroads and junctions on this road. I'm not sure if you can hear the police car passing by. All right, so you had some time. There's just one answer correct, and that is only at the next crossroad or junction with that sign. Yeah. So the second answer is correct. What does this traffic sign indicate? The start of an autobahn, the end of an autobahn, the start of a clear way for motor vehicles only. As well, in that question, we just have one correct answer, and that sign means that you are about to enter highway. So it's the start of an autobahn. When you leave, it should be crossed with a red cross or red line, and that's why we don't have that sign. It's just the first answer. What do the white markings on the road mean in this situation? Right, I will expand it a little bit. We are driving 25 kilometers per hour, getting close to this junction, and we have some triangle dots on the road. So what does the white markings on the road mean? The white markings highlight a duty to give way due to the right before left rule, indicate a traffic calming zone, are a warning about the poor state of the road surface. The only thing which is correct is they are giving you a sign that there applies right before left. So it's the first one. Ready for a movie? Let's start. We are driving with around 30 kilometers per hour. On the right, we have an e-scooter driving, and we are getting closer to a junction with these markings. So this triangle, so it's right before left. And we didn't indicate, so we are about to drive straight ahead. Let's go to the question. What is the rule created by the road markings in this situation? I have to approach the junction cautiously. I have to give way to the red vehicle. I have to come to a stop in front of the road markings. No, the only thing is approach the junction cautiously. It is right before left, so the red car has to wait for us. The blue one has to wait for the red one, but we have no one on our right hand side, so that's why we drive carefully to it, because someone might come out. But if you see that there is no one, you can go straight ahead and you don't have to stop. So that's why it's just the first answer. Which traffic sign gives right of way at the next crossroads? Traffic sign 2, traffic sign 3, or traffic sign 1? Regarding our signs here, the one who is giving the right of way at the next crossroad is this sign. This sign tells us at the next junction you can go first if someone comes up from the right. Meanwhile, this one will stop the priority road, and this one gives you priority, but just for coming traffic. So the only correct answer is traffic sign 1, the last answer in that case. Okay. Which traffic sign gives right of way? Traffic sign 3, traffic sign 2, or traffic sign 1? Let's have a look. The first traffic sign here is telling us that we are just about to enter a bend into the right direction. This traffic sign tells us that we have the right of way in the next junction. And this 35 means that there is how you say Bundesstraße, something like an interstatal interstatal with the number 35. So it has nothing to do with right of way. So the only correct answer is traffic sign 2. What is allowed on priority roads outside built-up areas? Parking on the hard shoulder, parking on the roadway, stopping on the right edge of the roadway. So parking on the hard shoulder and stopping on the right edge of the roadway. I'm not that sure. Stopping. Yes. No, these two actually are allowed. Nice. What ends here? A controlled parking zone, a previous zonal prohibitions, all previous zonal prohibitions, a priority road. The only correct answer is there ends a priority road, because it's a priority road sign with crossed lines, means that sign is not valid anymore from the sign on. Good. What do you do when you see this traffic sign? You must be ready to stop despite taking precedence. You must give precedence to the oncoming traffic. You may only take precedence when the narrowing is clear. So that sign means that if it's getting narrow, you're about to go and the coming traffic has to wait. However, if the coming traffic is already in the narrow part, you have to wait and he can't disappear. You have to let him go first and then you're allowed to go. So, however, even if you have priority, you must be ready to stop. So that's why the first answer is correct. The second is not correct because actually you have priority. However, if there's someone there, you only take the precedence when the narrowing is clear, obviously. All right, the first and the last is correct. What does this traffic sign allow? I will make it a little bit bigger. So, Bewohner mit Parkausweis, Nummer, whatever. So, residents with the parking ID or parking document with a number, whatever, is allowed to park there. So, what does the traffic sign allow? Residents holding a parking license with corresponding number may park here. All residents may use any of these parking spaces. Everybody may use this parking space as long as other parking spaces are still free. Well, you see, we're in Germany and everything is regulated, so even this parking space has a proper number and is registered, and if you don't hold the correct parking license, you can't use it. So it's just the first answer. Welcome to Germany. Are you allowed to park here? So, yes, briefly for shopping. Yes, as a seriously disabled person with an official parking permit. Yes, as a person accompanying blind persons with an official parking permit. Right? There are two correct answers. You're not allowed to stop there for brief shopping. But yes, if you are disabled, you can use it if you have the correct mark or the correct permit, or if you bring someone to a special place who has this special permit. So both of the last answers are correct. What must you observe when parking here? The parking time indicated on the parking ticket may not be exceeded. The parking ticket must be put in a place so it can be easily read when controlled. Parking ticket and parking disc rank equal. All right. Mit Parkschein means that just with parking ticket, you're allowed to park. So according to that answer, the only correct answer here is parking time indicated on the parking may not be, yes, that one. Obviously you have to pay for the time and it shouldn't be exceeded. If not, you have to pay a ticket. And yes, and it should be easy readable for the people who control it. And the other one is not correct. Okay, which vehicles are allowed to park here? Vehicles with a permissioned total mass of more than 3.5 tons, vehicles with a permissible total mass of up to 2.8 tons, or motorcycles. Okay, so more than 3.5 tons would be a truck, and this is just a car, so trucks can't be correct. but vehicles with a permission total mass of up to 2.8 is correct. And motorcycles, yes, because they are much smaller and they can fit here on the path. Nice. What must a motor vehicle maximum speed determined by its construction be at least if you want to use this road? 61 kilometers per hour, 51 kilometers per hour, or 81 kilometers per hour. All right, that sign means that you're about to enter something like an interstate, and it's the same like on highways. So it is at least 61. So you have to be faster than 60 at least. All right. What does this traffic sign indicate? A cul-de-sac, an underpass, a road close to vehicle traffic. Underpass? Oh, it's just the first one. All right, what does this traffic sign indicate? Sorry, cul-de-sac. I just know the German word was Sackgasse. Yeah, that it's a dead end. I think this is the English word. I never hear the other one. Okay, now let's focus on that. What does this traffic sign indicate? A crossroads, a danger spot, a first aid station. I think that's quite clear. The last answer. This is a sign for a first aid station. What must you remember when you see this traffic sign? Vehicles may be parked here all night without lights. Vehicle may not be parked here. Street lighting does not stay on all night. All right, that is not that common, and you have it normally at traffic lights or street lights, better said. So it is the last one. It is telling you that this street lighting will be shut down later, and it might be that it's difficult to see your car. However, vehicles may be parked here all night without lights. Maybe better you put lights, yeah, if you're outside village maybe, and this traffic or the street light will be turned off. Maybe better to activate some lights that it's better seen. So it's just the last answer. What does this traffic sign indicate? Vehicles may not drive faster than 35 kilometers per hour. Vehicles must drive at least 35 kilometers per hour. A federal road, Bundesstraße. Okay, they call it federal road. I think I've talked about it in one of the questions before today. So if you remember, it is the last answer. Federal road, that you have it quite often on big highway signs and telling you, okay, if you leave the highway here and you turn right, then you will enter that federal road with a number 35. That's the correct answer. What does this traffic sign indicate? An autobahn section which is normally not used very much, the place where the autobahn must be exited, an obligatory diversion for vehicles with dangerous goods. Okay, this sign is not that common. It is normally just located on highways, that's important to know. And it tells us an autobahn section which is normally not used very much. So you can follow that sign in case you have a lot of traffic, a traffic jam in front of you, and then you can follow that sign to get to another way. I think today you just use your navigation system, but however, I think that signs are older than GPS and all the rest of it. So that's why if you don't have battery anymore, you can use that signs. All right, let's solve it. Nice. During daylight, you enter a lit tunnel marked like this. What do you do? I switch on the side lights. I switch on the dipped headlights. I do not have to switch on the lights. Well, even if you enter this lit tunnel, you have to switch dipped headlights. Obviously, that's the only correct answer. And side lights, they're not enough Yeah, you have to have a brighter light and like the dipped headlights, and yes, you can't drive without lights into a tunnel. What do you have to do when you see this traffic sign? Take off your sunglasses, switch on dipped headlights, switch on the hazard warning lights. Switched on, not off. Okay, in that case, take off your sunglasses is a good idea because it will be quite dark and you can't see anything if you still have the sunglasses on. Sometimes you forgot it or forget it, and then you're just driving, and then, ah, shit, I've got the sunglasses, and you take them off. So you should do this when you enter a tunnel, and switch on dipped headlights. We had that before. And the warning lights has nothing to do right now. You drive into a bright lit tunnel, which is indicated like this. What do you do? Drive without lights, drive with daytime running lights, drive with dipped headlights. Well, we had that already, and it's clear it's the dipped headlights. Okay, and now we are coming. No, that is the last question already for today. Yeah, actually, I did a little bit more. However, yes, we are finished for today. Thank you that you followed me until here. I hope you could learn a bit, and see you again on Monday, same time, 8:30 as always, and then in live again. So, however, I will check out later the comments and will answer your questions. All right.